Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that Shoichi does not know how to relationship. Hiya. Anyways, let's just hop right in. I see Shoichi almost dashing towards us and lift my arm up to wave at him. Hiya. Shoichi! Huh? Ah! Shoichi wraps his arms tightly around me, lifting me off the ground and leaving my legs dangling in the air. We won! We fucking won! He seems to be beside himself with excitement as he twirls me around the air while laughing. Shoichi, put me down. I'm starting to get dizzy. Sorry, I just can't help but being excited. His tail is wagging non-stop, a blue blur moving behind his back. Hiya. I can see that. Shoichi puts me down on the ground, and being able to touch the floor with my feet again is a relief. However, he still keeps his left arm wrapped around my shoulders, something that I become immediately conscious of. Did you guys see how well the whole team did? They were pulling off the most unbelievable receives. It made me feel like some kind of proud parent. You certainly do boss us around enough to be able to call yourself a parent. What, Haruki? Once he notices the wolf's presence, he pulls his arm away from me, staring at Haruki slack-jawed. Surprised to see me? Well, yeah. What are you doing with my friends? A devious smile creeps up on his face, and I begin to feel dread. I got invited to tag along by Michimiya. He was super nice about it, too. Gotta say, I really felt loved. Hang on, let me, adjust my microphone a bit. There we go. Oh no, he's not trying to make Shoichi jealous, is he? When I look over towards Shoichi, I see a look on his face that I don't like seeing. I see. Hey, Sho-chan, do you think you'd be able to have lunch with us before your semifinals? Sai cuts me off before I can say anything, cheerfully asking a question that is related to food. Which, considering this is Sai I'm talking about, makes a lot of sense. I'd really like to, but I'm not supposed to leave the venue in case something comes up. How about we go over to a nearby convenience store and get some food to order? That's a great idea, Kei-chan. Don't call me Kei-chan. Hiya. There's a pretty good chain one nearby. They've got a good selection of sushis and noodles. Hiya. Sounds like a good idea. We should probably get going so we don't waste too much time. Yurata has to eat as fast as possible so he doesn't have a full stomach during the match. Thanks for being so considerate. By the way, how about one of you guys stay behind to keep me company? I don't really want to go back to the team and then have to come here again. Shoichi eyes me from the corner of his eye, making me smile involuntarily. Yuichi can stick around with me, can't you? Shoichi. We said subtle. This is not subtle. And at this point, you're not being evil. You're being an asshole. Be evil. Don't be an asshole. Oh, sure. I'd love to. I guess that does make more sense after all. Okay, let's get going then. I'm starting to get hungry. You're always hungry. You're not wrong there. I notice Haruki staring between Shoichi and me with an annoyed look on his face. You all enjoy your little picnic, I suppose. Since I'm still technically part of the team, I think I should stick around. His gaze doesn't stray from the two of us for even a second. Well, I suppose that's fair. For some reason, I feel a small wave of panic growing in my throat. I don't really know why, but the idea of Haruki staying behind with Shoichi and I makes me really uncomfortable. Especially when it's so obvious to me that Shoichi's just looking for an excuse to get some time alone with me. Nope, sorry, you're coming with us. Those words come from a person that didn't expect to say anything about this entire matter. Aki shoots a quick glance at Shoichi and I before tugging on the wolf's sleeves. Come on, you joined us to watch the game, so you might as well join us for lunch too. Haruki visibly hesitates to this before looking away. Fine. Huh. Well, anyway, since that's settled, can we get going? Sure. Make sure you don't get me something super heavy, okay? Pfft, like there's any chance of that happening. Look at how many athletes are going out to buy lunch together. I'll buy you the fattest piece of meat I can find. It'll be, 90% fat and just a little sliver of meat underneath it. Please don't. The five of them walk out of the venue, with Haruki looking back at us with an indecipherable look on his face, his arm being tugged away by my little brother. Man, Aki-kun came out with the real save, huh? I thought for sure we wouldn't be able to get some time for ourselves. Damn it, Shoichi! Quit being obvious! Yeah, surprisingly smooth save from him, almost like he knew something was up. You don't think you realize something, do you? With how obvious you are, I'd be surprised if all of them haven't figured it out by now. You twirled me in the air for a full minute. Oh, sorry. I was just a tad too excited. Yeah, you're the really excitable type. I already knew that when I said yes to dating you. I imagined stuff like this would happen. Shoichi's tail begins wagging once again as he chuckles. For some reason, even though his fur is disheveled and slightly matted with sweat, seeing him look so happy and proud of himself makes my chest tight. By the way, Haruki was here, huh? Oh, fuck. The game, lagged for a second. Yeah, don't worry about it. Also, hiya. Yeah, I saw him at the lobby and invited him to join us. I hope that wasn't a problem. The only problem is that he's an ass. Actually, he's been mostly well behaved. I think it's just you he has a problem with. What did I do? I don't know if I should answer that. By the way, was I imagining things or was he trying to make me jealous there? You're probably imagining things. If I tell him Haruki knows about us, he just might have a heart attack. I'll hold off on that knowledge for now. Oh, just Shoichi being extremely obvious about the fact that we're with him now. Although I have to say, he's been a little nicer lately. Really? Yeah, it really surprised both me and Coach. He's been deferring to instructions. Hasn't been insulting people as often. He grumbles to himself a lot, though. Could it be that he actually took my advice to heart? Holy shit! Did I tame the beast? Shoichi scratches his chin, looking thoughtful. Something puzzling you? No, I just realized that we're alone right now. Wasn't that the whole point behind you asking me to stay here by myself? I have an idea. Come with me for a second, will you? Shoichi grabs me by the hand and leads me away. Where are we going? There's a maintenance closet nearby that is always empty. No one's going to use it today, so it's safe. Help. 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 Why are you taking me to a closet? You guys want to kiss you and I can't do that in public, dummy. Crap. He just said something really embarrassing like it was nothing. I can't take this. My face got so hot I feel like I could cook an egg on it. Yeah, I still haven't, applied. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I just noticed. Thank you for the follow. I literally just noticed. Thank you for the follow. I literally just noticed. My face gets so hot I feel like I could cook an egg on it. Shoichi nonchalantly opens the door to the closet, getting us both inside and closing it behind us like it was nothing. Wow, it's tight in here. I said it was private. I didn't say it was spacious. Fair point, I guess Ah! Almost as soon as the doors closed behind us, Shoichi wraps his arms around me, shutting me up with a kiss. Jeez, at least let me finish talking. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I just had to get my hands on you as soon as I could. Poor choice of words. That's a really embarrassing thing to say. Even though he'd been playing until recently, his fur and shirt hadn't been soaking wet like I thought he'd be. He was certainly a bit damp, but that's something I'd grown more than used to over the years. Sorry, that match really got my blood running in a good way. What are you... He barely gives me time to react. Shoichi's hands just rub and squeeze my back as he continues to kiss me over and over. Shoichi's lips keep smacking against mine over and over. Instead of one long satisfying kiss, Shoichi instead gives me multiple fleeting kisses all over. Nibbles on my ears, kisses on my neck, my cheek, and touches me all over. In fact, he goes especially for my neck. Even though it feels really good and I have to resist the urge to make sounds, something about it still bothers me. Shoichi, hang on for a second. As soon as I say those words, he steps away from me, suddenly looking worried. Is something wrong? You don't have to look at me like I shot your puppy. I'm sorry? Is there something wrong or not? Kinda? It's just... You're being really forward all of a sudden. It feels out of place. I mean, you have tried to be spontaneous in the past, but right now you're just coming at me out of nowhere without even giving me room to breathe. And we've only been dating for a few days. I don't think we're ready to be all over each other quite like that yet. Damn, I can't find it. Is he avoiding my gaze now? Why is your face so red all of a sudden? It's kind of an embarrassing thing about me. Now I've gotta know. What is it? Can't you just ignore it? Nope. Spill. Whenever I have a really good match, I sometimes get a bit riled up. Why is that embarrassing? Most people do. Hell, I do too. No, that's a different kind of riled up. I don't understand what you mean. Here. I don't trust this game. I do not trust it. Sileo Tales of a New Dawn did that. Shoichi grabs my hand and... Ah. Oh! 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 Oh, wow! 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 Just... Wow! My hand is placed directly on top of Shoichi's, where I immediately feel something pushing up against the fabric. Hiya! It got like this as soon as I started kissing you. I stand frozen in place, unable to move or do anything. I just feel it pulsing against my hand. My face gets hotter and hotter by the passing second. You can pull your hand away now. Right! I take a step away from him, rubbing the back of my neck awkwardly, unable to hold his gaze. Sorry, that's a really weird thing to do all of a sudden, huh? Kinda? So volleyball just pushes your buttons? No! No, it's not the volleyball that does it, it's... Oh god, kill me now! Sorry, no can do. So if it's not the volleyball that does it, then what is it? You're not going to let this go, are you? Unlikely. Shoichi looks away from me again, his face so red that I can see it through his navy blue fur. He swallows multiple times, opening his mouth every time before closing it again until repeating this ritual. He does it 7 times before words finally come out of his mouth. It's when I play a really satisfying game, when my blood gets pumping and I start feeling like I'm being challenged, or when I feel like I'm doing really well. This match right now was the latter. I felt really good because we did super well. My mind was rushing and my heart was beating so fast with ecstasy the whole time. After we were done, I just wanted to find you, bring you here, and, well, fool around, I guess? Man! That's really brazen of you! I've always had these kinds of impulses. They're just harder to control when my blood gets pumping. Hiya. That would explain why you were always so touchy-feely during practice. Busted, huh? Maybe we should head back to the lobby. Oh, but I just want to kiss you lots more. Yeah, well, maybe it wouldn't be a good idea when you're this worked up. I get that it can be embarrassing, but I didn't think it was something I needed to hide from you anymore. I just think that it's a bit too soon for me to be feeling your thing through your pants. You don't have to touch it. I also wasn't going to let my hands go anywhere below your waist without your permission. I'm not some kind of sex fiend. You sure? You brought me to a secluded closet already because you wanted me alone. Yeah, because I wanted to kiss you, not because I wanted to do whatever it is you're thinking of. Shoichi steps away from me, crossing his arms and rubbing the bridge of his nose, letting out an exasperated sigh. Well, safe to say the mood is gone. Sorry. Whatever, let's just get back to the lobby and wait for the others. I nod, reaching for the handle to the door. But first, Shoichi quickly gives me a peck on the cheek, a big smile on his face. I just wanted to tell you that you look really handsome today. I love you. Don't just say embarrassing things like that all of a sudden. While you were on the court, I also thought that you looked really stunning. Careful, if you keep saying things like that, I'm going to jump you again. And back to the lobby we go. A few hours later. Man, that was a great match. Shoichi runs up to us as soon as he's finished with his post-match interview. I step behind his side to make sure the same incident from earlier doesn't happen again. You all seem to be in a really good mood. I guess having easy matchups does that to you. Stop being so negative about everything. You should be happy that we've qualified for the finals. Why? It's not like I'm going to be playing in them. The only reason you're not one of our regulars is because of your terrible attitude. What? Seriously? This guy was supposed to be one of the regulars? You don't have to act so surprised. The wolf huffs in annoyance, glaring at Saya. Sorry. When Haruki first joined the club last year and we saw what he could do, we were all really excited. We thought he would be our ace player from now on. Then he started insulting everyone and refusing to behave. Eventually he was removed from the players selected for matches. Haruki avoids Shoichi's gaze, grumbling. Although I've noticed a marked improvement in his attitude over the past 2 weeks. It's actually surprised me a lot. I was talking to Coach about him maybe putting him into our match tomorrow. The wolf's ears twitch as he turns his head to look straight at Shoichi. Pfft, like I'd care one way or another. Those are the words he says, but I can see his tail beginning to wag really slowly from side to side, almost like he was making a conscious effort to suppress it. I've had my doubts about it for a while, but seeing how he acted when he first saw Aki and now this guy's the type that just can't be honest about how he's feeling, isn't he? I lean towards Aki outside of Haruki's sight, whispering something to him, and keeping in mind how good the wolf's hearing is. Hey Aki, try praising and encouraging him over it. Aki shoots me a curious look before nodding. Aki tugs on Haruki's arm with a huge smile on his face. Isn't that great? You'll be able to play and show everyone how good you are. That's amazing, Haruki-san. The wolf's eyes go wide as he looks down at my brother, who plays the part of excited little boy perfectly. I guess it is. Thanks, kid. He pets Aki's head, a gentle smile on his face. Yep, I'm sure of it now. I'd recognize that look anywhere. Hey, Haruki, do you have any siblings? I have a little brother. Why? And how old is your brother? His eyebrows furrow as he looks at me with confusion. Thankfully, I think Aki is still doing a pretty good job of making the guy behave, and the wolf doesn't even notice it. If it's fun, that should be reason enough to play. Screw what comes next. No reason. Shoichi flashes me a smile as he realizes where I'm going with this. Yeah, the look I've been seeing on Haruki's face is one I know all too well. It's the look of a loving older brother. There's no way I could mistake it. The guy probably has a soft spot for Aki because he reminds him of his own brother. I feel like I could really exploit that. For good reasons, of course. Yeah, Coach said that if you can cooperate with the team, he'll put you back in. You've already been doing a lot better lately, so I think we could give it a try. What do you think? Imagine how your little bro would feel if he saw his brother playing during the finals of a big competition. Hook, line, and sinker. The wolf looks away, looking suddenly very embarrassed. And still petting Aki's head. Does he even notice it by this point? I don't know. I still think this team is a bunch of little... Please don't curse in front of my little brother. Oh, sorry. He doesn't even realize he's being played, does he? Just make sure to show up tomorrow with your uniform, okay? And again, try to be courteous. I don't know if Haruki-san, I'll be cheering for you too. We're gaslighting him, I think. We're gatekeeping information from him. Therefore, we are girl bossing. His face immediately goes red. I'll try my best. I give Aki a thumbs up and he flashes me a cheeky smile. Oh, hiya. Welcome. We are girl bossing so hard. There is... Yeah, welcome to the stream, hiya. I give Aki a thumbs up and he flashes me a cheeky smile. About half an hour later, we all decide to head back home for the day. Since we all live around the same direction, the four of us walk most of the path together. Man, if we somehow manage to tame Koizumi, then we're gonna have a huge boost tomorrow. I've talked to him a few times lately, and I always kind of got the feeling that he was just trying to push people away because he didn't really know how to deal with them. He even gave me advice on how to deal with Shoichi, in his own little way. Hiya. I think if you think of his constant insults as playful ribbing, he becomes a lot easier to deal with. I don't think people would think of it like that. I thought he was really rude at first, but after you told him to stop being insulting, he really did. I was surprised. He's been a lot more civil with me lately. Ever since that conversation we had on the roof, he's been much nicer. I guess he feels like he lost in his own game back then and now respects me or something like that. Why can't he be that nice to me or the other club members? From what I gather, he thinks your way of always being cheerful and encouraging is actually you looking down on people. What? That's ridiculous! I agree, but it's how he sees it, and I don't think you could convince him otherwise. Maybe you could go with a different approach when you deal with him. Oh yeah? Like what? Fall for his baits and butt heads with him? That might actually work. You're kidding me. You're trying to talk to him like he's some kind of average Joe when he clearly isn't. He doesn't like people who are just nice for the sake of being nice. Just be blunt instead. Throw your weight around. That might work better. Yeah, hiya. This all sounds like a terrible idea. If you didn't plan on changing the way you deal with him, then why did you even ask in the first place? Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'll try it. It just sounds like terrible advice. Smartass. We arrive at my house after a somewhat long walk. Do you guys want to come inside for a bit? Sorry, Dad asked me to go straight home after the competition, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Actually, Shoichi-san, I won't be available tomorrow. Oh! I see. I want to go, but I already have something else that I cannot skip. It's alright, Jun-kun. But I'll be cheering for you in my mind. I hope you guys win. Thanks. I won't have time to stop by and pick you up tomorrow, Yu. Try not to be late, okay? It's alright. I already have the bucket of water prepared in case he doesn't get up. I swear I won't be late. I'll hold you to that. See ya. Bye-bye. May 28th, day 18. The match is about to start. The mood today is totally unlike yesterday's. We can't bring ourselves to play and joke around like we did then. This is it. Minami versus Shirotech. Shoichi, he has never been able to beat Shirotech before. They're basically his arch rivals. And the fact that they're a team similar to his only stings him further. They're both teams that forsake individual strength in favor of unity. Shoichi is without a doubt the best individual player in that court. like Aki, we'll just be in our room sleeping, and then Aki will just, brother, and just, oh Jesus Christ, and he's just holding a bucket of water, and he's like, Aniki, it's time to wake up, and you're like, 5 more minutes. And then, he just, starts floating or whatever and just dumps that entire bucket of water on you. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's cold. And he's like, it's ice water. Ah! I swear to God, that might happen. Hiya. Ah. Shoichi is without a doubt the best individual player in that court. But even that doesn't mean anything. You can't play by yourself in volleyball. That also means you can't win or lose by yourself either. You think they can do it this time? I really hope so. If you didn't wake up, he throws the empty bucket too. Oh no, there's an S there. That means it's multiple buckets just being thrown at you. You're just I swear to God, this kid can just I swear to God, from what I understand, he can just materialize a bucket of water out of nothing, and you're just you're just standing there in awe, watching him materialize a bucket of water out of nothing. I really hope so. Shoichi was really excited that the wolf was going to be playing this time. Maybe the guy will make a difference after all. He sleeps for 0.3 seconds more than... Nah, nah. Yoichi sleeps for a singular nanosecond. And all of a sudden, we are in the fucking Pacific Ocean or something. We are in a fucking ocean. Like, we just like wake up and we're in an ocean and we're just like, how the hell did it happen? We're just like, how did it happen? And we just see Aki just over on the shore, just waving at us with a shit-eating grin on his face. And we're just like, ah, damn it, Aki. He certainly had a lot of praise to give him, even if all that praise was blanketed under annoyance over Haruki's personality. Ugh, they haven't even started yet and my chest already hurts. That's because we know how much is riding on this. If Yurata loses here, that is the end of his high school volleyball career. Shoichi ni, please win. It's confirmed. Aki has all the Infinity Stones. He has defeated Thanos with a singular bucket of water. Every one of us is feeling on edge right now. Even I am. My chest feels so incredibly tight. Shoichi might act like he doesn't care about volleyball all that much, but I don't want to imagine how he might be if he lost today on what's supposed to be his last chance. God, if you exist, please help Shoichi. They're starting! Just like Saya says, the players have finished their warm-up routines and the captains are now flipping a coin to decide who will serve first. Last year, Shirotech had 2 players who could do jump serves. You think they've gotten any better at that this time around? Wasn't one of those players a senior? That would mean he's graduated by now, right? And there should only be one left. Yeah, but that was months ago. Other players could have learned how to do it by then. Plus, you always have to account for any arriving freshmen. According to the brochure, they only have 1 freshman as a regular. Which one is it? Number 15, that really tall middle blocker. Yikes, that guy's built like a truck. He's almost as tall as Shoichi, too. Other than that, their team is built mostly of juniors and seniors. Our school doesn't have any freshmen in the starting players. Yeah. The other team won the coin toss. Their captain is the first one to serve. He gets in position for a jump serve. Ugh, I remember that guy from last year. His serves were a pain in the ass then, too. Yeah, I recognize that, dear. He was the only one in Shirotech that could match Shoichi's serves. But then again, number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing anyone wants on their Burger King burger is someone else's foot fungus. But as it turns out, that might be just what you get. But then again, considering how much of an upgrade Shoichi has gone through, I really don't think this guy could keep up in that area. He tosses the ball into the air and jumps after it. The hit ball goes much slower than expected, swerving erratically in the air. I faintly hear one of the players barking in order and jumping after the ball. He attempts to get the ball with an underhand receive, but it swerves at the last second and hits him in the forearm instead, bouncing out of the court. What? That guy can do a jump float now? That is so annoying. Shoichi gives the player that missed the ball a pat on the back. Play resumes with the deer once again tossing the ball into the air. Will it be a floater again? This time the ball is hit with tons of momentum, making a loud sound that echoes through the court. It flies like a bullet towards the other side. At least one good thing that can be said of Shoichi's ridiculous training routines. He's practiced his jump serve so many times against his teammates that they've grown used to fastballs. In an instant, a player dashes towards the ball, making clean contact with it and sending the ball to the setter position. Nice! Shoichi jumps to make fast contact with that ball. His form is so clean that I can't tell at all where he's going to send it. He tosses the ball behind him to the spiker directly next to him. The spiked ball collides with the tip of the opposing blocker's fingers. It flies into the opponent's court. Because of the decrease in momentum, they are able to receive it clearly, continuing the rally. Their setter isn't as impressive as Shoichi. His tosses aren't as accurate, and I think he either doesn't like to or doesn't know how to do jump tosses consistently. He definitely doesn't call as much attention as Shoichi does. Both teams continue to connect the ball and keep the rally going. So far, it seems they're neck and neck. Shoichi organizes better attacks so our team's offensive power is higher, but Shirotech has better blockers and are capable of keeping us from scoring the point. Right from the start of the match, the game is close. Another ball is received cleanly and sent right for Shoichi. So far he's been doing a good job of distributing the ball, Back attacks, quick attacks, he's used every single one of his spikers at one point or another, and made a good job of giving them good passes. And to our surprise, instead of tossing the ball, Shoichi's hand meet it just above the net and he lightly pushes it to the other team's side. Caught by surprise, the ball falls behind the blockers and their defenders cannot save it. Wow! Shoichi isn't usually the type to do dump attacks. After the loss last year, he said something about increasing his offensive skill set. I guess this was what he meant by it. Because the serve that blows your arms off clearly wasn't enough, right? Haruki-san hasn't really done much so far. Oh yeah, that's true. Shoichi hasn't tossed to him yet, even though the guy's at the net. Hiya. Shoichi isn't the kind that trusts on his instincts. He tends to avoid making plays that he hasn't practiced tons of times before. He's probably avoiding Haruki since he doesn't have much experience with him. Just then, a ball is tossed to Haruki and the wolf leaps, spiking it at an insane inner angle that allows the ball to fly right past the blockers. Whoa! What a crazy spike! Either that was a fluke or that guy really is crazy good. Right now, I think it's both. The match continues at a high pace the whole time. Even though last year our team got almost completely shafted, this time they're managing to hold on much better. A lot of it comes down to our offense. With our team constantly hammering away at them, it takes everything they've got just to hold on. They're having a hard time mounting an offensive because of it. Still, the score is incredibly close. Shirotech is leading by 18-16. Man, our team is doing well, but they can't seem to pull ahead. Shirotech's well known for having one of the best defenses in the country. With strong receivers and blockers, getting past that is no easy feat. But that makes the match drag on forever. It's so annoying to watch. How do they even have the stamina to play a full match like that? Just because they specialize in defense doesn't mean they don't have good offense. My guess is that they always aim to end matches quickly by shutting out the other team's spikers. Since they're not being able to do that here, all they can do is get a lot of one-touches and receives. The match ends up dragging because of it. So you're saying that they aren't the ones making the match drag? We are. Pretty much, they want to shut us out and score points with their blocks. It's because we're not letting them that the match is dragging. Our team's offense is good enough to avoid the wall shutout, but not good enough to consistently score points on top of it. It sounds like a headache. Even Shoichi's serve that was scoring tons of points just yesterday is getting received consistently without many issues this time around. Shirotech might lack really strong players, but their foundation is really strong. They're not the kind of team that relies on a single player, which also means they're not the kind of team that you can just shut down just by putting the pressure on one person. Our team also tries to be that, but because of the huge disparity between Shoichi's skill and that of the others, they could never really achieve that. Shoichi used Thunderbolt. When you think about it, Shirotech is a team with lots of strong players that are all balanced among each other. No one stands out. But our team is naturally incredibly unbalanced. And with Haruki in this match, the balance tips over even further. Once the other team has clear targets to focus on, it becomes easier for them to shut them out. They've been trying to make Shoichi get a lot of first touches. If Shoichi can't toss, then our team loses most of its attack potential. That's really annoying. Aki clutches his fist around his arm, quivering. I can see how frustrated he is watching the match. The score is really close. The match really looks even. But despite that, I feel like they're slowly being strangled. Their blockers are zoning in onto Haruki faster and faster. A lot of the early points on our team came from his spikes, but now they're getting lots of one-touches. Eventually, I feel like they're going to start shutting him off completely, and then he'll be out of options. The amount of pressure on those two must feel tremendous right now. Hang in there. A block out! Shoichi made a feint pretending to toss the ball to Haruki before sending a quick toss to the backline spiker. The ball hit the tip of the blocker's fingers as they were falling to the ground and flew out of the court. 21-20. Whoever takes this first serve will define the pace for the match. Losing the first set here would be a huge blow to their morale, especially considering the fact that at the pace this match is going, having to play all 5 sets would probably exhaust them. This is one thing I never understood about volleyball. How can they jump around so much? Just watching them do it over and over, I already feel like my legs are on fire. That's interesting. Shoichi's using Haruki-san more and more. You think he's getting used to him? I think it's something like that. Different spikers have different preferences on how they want their tosses and on the timing of their attacks. Shoichi's the type to always watch his team, so maybe he's figuring things out as he goes. Although it can feel kind of creepy to be playing with someone that pays so much attention to you. I have Urushihara as my practice partner. I can 100% confirm that. Hey, that was uncalled for. Sorry. Wow, Haruki-san is doing really well. Yeah, he is. I was afraid he'd crumble once they started putting pressure on him, but he's dealing with it just fine. My only concern is that he doesn't mingle with the team at all during timeouts. He just sits at a corner sipping on water. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. Let's just be happy that he's not starting any fights. He looks super pissed off, though. I talked to him for a little bit before the match. It looks like his brother is here to watch him today, so he said he's going to be on his best behavior. Wait! When did you talk to him? Aki shrugs. When you guys were talking to Shoichi-san outside their locker room, I saw Haruki-san going inside and talk to him for a bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I just thought that I could remind him again about just how excited I am for this match and how I hope he'll be able to work well with his team. Hang on, let me reread that real quick. I just thought that I could help remind him about just how excited I am for this match and how I hope he'll be able to work really well with his team. Aki imitates a high, squeaky, super excited voice. You two scare me with how few qualms you give about manipulating people. It's nothing much. Creepy. Just then, Haruki spiked another ball. Every time he does so, the sound that echoes through the court is deafeningly loud. But for the first time in the match, he gets completely blocked. Our team's libero tries to save the ball, but it smashes against the floor. 25-23. Damn! They took the first set. And by blocking Haruki-san too, I hope he handles it Shit! Just as Aki was saying these words, Haruki runs up to a nearby chair and kicks it over, startling everyone. His teammates run up to try and calm him down, but he seems to prefer just sulking in a corner. That's not good. That guy really has a nasty temper. My god. No kidding. I guess hoping everything went smoothly was a bit too optimistic. Come on, man. Keep that temper in check for just this match. I don't like how this match is going. I don't feel like Shirotech is just going to run away with it, but I'm afraid that if it drags too long, our team might lose their gas first. It's not just that. Extreme exhaustion takes a really big toll on a person's mental condition. Our team isn't nearly as united as theirs. I'm afraid they will start fraying. Can we please stop saying such pessimistic things? I don't want to be thinking about all this crap right now. Sorry. Haruki's spike flies towards the high blocking wall and is immediately sent back to the ground. Even though the team was able to drag the match into the fifth set, it's becoming more and more apparent that they're struggling to keep up. Not only that, this is the fifth time Haruki gets blocked just during this set. It's plain to see that his play is deteriorating due to stress. 8-11-8. Do you think they can recover from this? They have to, right? They already managed to get all the way into the fifth set. They just need to reach 15 points first. That's easier said than done. During the whole match, I've been watching Shoichi intently. I don't know why, but I feel like his spirit is breaking little by little. The accuracy of his tosses and the power of his serves hasn't diminished, but I feel like he's not making as many bold attacks anymore. The more cornered he feels, the more defensive he gets. And since their strong attacks were the only thing keeping Shirotech from going all out on their own offense, it's making it harder and harder for them to defend. Shoichi. It's painful. Watching this match is starting to get painful. Even though they were trying so hard, even though they were doing so well, they're on match point. Shochan. 14-10. No matter how much I try, that is not a lead I can imagine them recovering from. The other team's captain serves. He goes for a jump float again. The ball is short, falling as soon as it passes the net. He goes for Shoichi? Was he targeting the setter position? Shochan! Shoichi lifts his arm to do an overhand receive. At the last second, the ball curves again. Shoichi's attempt to receive the ball makes it fly right into the net in front of him. Haruki, who is standing right next to Shoichi, lunges at the ball in an attempt to save it. But it hits the floor before the wolf can receive. They all stare at the ball as it rolls away, silently, in shock. The crowd erupts in cheers. Of course, for them, this was nothing more than a really close, exciting match. They don't feel the same way as we do. And I can't imagine we can feel the same way as the players do. The players all line up in silence. Thank you for all your support! The team walks up to the bleachers, shouting their gratitudes to those of us who came to watch. But just sounds wrong. Hearing them say these things with such sad looks on their faces. I can't take it. Let's go to the locker room. We should talk to Shoichi as soon as he gets out of his post-match meeting. Good idea. Shoichi. We wait around for quite a few minutes, hoping that Shoichi will eventually show up. We're not allowed inside the locker room area because we're not competitors, so we have to wait by the lobby. Once we see his teammates are starting to appear, we start looking for Shoichi. Haruki-san! We see Haruki walking side by side with the boy. A white wolf just like him, except he has bright blue eyes and a smile on his face. When Haruki notices us, he lets go of the boy's hand and gets down on his knee, giving the boy a bill. Taro, why don't you go to the vending machine and get yourself a snack, okay? Big bro has to talk to a few friends. Nii-chan, you don't have to treat me like a baby. The boy looks at us for a few seconds and his eyes land on Aki. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for taking such good care of my brother. I'm sorry that he's so much trouble all the time. The boy makes a reverence to us before turning to smile at Aki. Taro. Haruki calls him again, this time more sternly. The boy shows his brother his tongue before running away towards the vending machine. Ugh, he's such a brat. The wolf sighs, tired. For the first time, I actually feel like I can relate to him as a person. So, what do you want? Came to rub salt on the wound. You played really well, Haruki-san. Aki smiles mournfully at the wolf, trying to sound sympathetic. Thanks. Man, you're such a well-mannered kid. Wish my brother could be more like you. He's a real brat. Yeah, little brothers always tend to be brats to their older brothers. Believe me, it wouldn't change a thing. Did you see Shoichi? We were looking for him. He left a little before we did. Stayed around all smiles, helping console the other members. He looked like he didn't even care at all. Then he said he was going to the bathroom. I didn't see him after that. Huh? So you don't know where he is? I thought he was with you people. Did the fucker just come up with an excuse to ditch us? I knew he didn't really want to deal with all that sobbing. He sighs, rubbing his forehead. He seems to be so tired that he can't even properly get mad. Great. Irada's gone MIA. So we just sit around until he gets back, huh? Will you guys wait around for me? I'll be back in a bit. Where are you going? To the bathroom. For real. I've been wanting to go for a while now and I can't hold it in anymore. Seriously? Gross. What? You pee too. Chill. Try not to take too long, okay? We don't know when Urata will get back. Yeah, I know. I'll be quick. For some reason, I've had a feeling in my stomach that I should come here. As soon as Haruki said something about Shoichi being cheerful, I knew there was something wrong. You? Just as I thought I would, I find Shoichi sitting alone on the floor and hugging his knees, his eyes red and wet. Despite the lack of space, I sit next to him, silent. Oh, okay. Just pull that up. Once Shoichi realizes that I'm not going to say a word, he goes back to quietly sniffling. Thought I'd bear witness to full-blown sobbing, but he seems to be controlling himself now that I'm here. Idiot. I was just told to pull up the sensor bar. Why are you here? We met with Haruki. He told us you left a while ago, to go to the bathroom of all places. He said you were smiling and encouraging your teammates. He said it looked like you didn't care. I knew that couldn't be further from the truth, so I came here to look for you. I see. Sorry to cause you so much trouble. I just wanted to be alone, so no one could see me looking so pitiful. I especially didn't want you to see me like this. I wrap my arms around him, pulling his head towards me and nestling it against my shoulder. I am, though. Don't be stupid. I'm your boyfriend now. I'm here for you whenever you need me. Then the dam breaks. I really wanted to win. I know. I should have done better. I should have sent the better tosses. I should have scored more points with my serve. I should have been able to receive that last ball. I'm sorry, Shoichi. You did the best you could. You can't blame yourself. But I let them all down. They were counting on me, and I made so many mistakes, and now I'll never get to play with them again. You didn't let anyone down. Stop saying that. You inspired everyone to keep going until the end. How can you say you let them down? But I gently lift his chin with my fingers, planting a gentle kiss on his lips. You? I don't want to see you talking about yourself like that. I can't stand seeing you like that. Joe, you did the best you could. You did incredibly well. Surely you must know that. But we lost. You can't blame that on yourself. Weren't you the one who always said volleyball is a team sport? You can't win or lose by yourself. Sho, please don't treat yourself like this. None of your teammates think that way of you at all. You all fought to the end with everything you had. Can't you at least be satisfied with that? No! I wanted to win with them. I wanted to keep playing with them. Keep playing volleyball. Then why don't you? I can't. Yes, you can. You should do what you want, Shoichi. Stop worrying so much about what other people want you to do. I'm sorry, I can't. I kiss him once again, stroking his damp cheeks with my fingers. I'm going to keep doing this until you stop with this self-blame and denial. Are you trying to encourage me into continuing to do that? I don't want to quit you, but I have to. I promised my father I would stop after the inter-high. I have to study for the college entrance exams. Sho, you should stop doing everything he wants you to do. You're your own person. You should do what you love. What does it matter if he doesn't approve of it? You're not going to try to look me in the eye and say you don't love volleyball, are you? I'm going to smack you if you keep doing that. I love volleyball. I never want to stop playing it. There we go. But I can't go against what he wants you. Sho, thank you, really. Thank you for being here for me, but it's not that easy. And by the way, Sho, I really like hearing you call me that. Please do that more. Shoichi cups my cheek in his hand, nuzzling his forehead against mine. Sho, I do as he's asked, prompting him to smile. At least I have you here with me right now. That's enough for me. I love you, Hugh. We continue to kiss for a few more minutes with no more words said between us. I wish I could do more. Isn't there something I could do to help him? Unable to come up with an answer, we silently walk out to join the others. Once I found myself home, I kept looking out the window, thinking about what I can do for him. Shoichi, you've done so much for me over the years. I want to do something for you too. Warm. I touched the tips of my fingers to my lips, remembering the feeling of Shoichi's kisses. For some reason, I find myself missing it. Shoichi, I want to go see you right now. Why won't my chest stop hurting? Trying to get my mind to stop racing, I lie in bed and attempt to distract myself with my phone. No answer from Shoichi yet. He was so silent all the way home. Even if he says I've helped him, it's obvious he's still sad and hurting. Just remembering the look on his face when he broke down into tears, I feel like crying myself too. Crap, what's going on with me? Shoichi, I want this day to end already. May 29th, Monday, day 19. Somehow I'm faintly aware of the fact that I'm already half awake. My eyelids feel so incredibly heavy that the idea of opening them starts to feel like wishful thinking. No, more importantly than that, I just don't want to. My bed is so nice and comfortable and warm. For some reason, I feel like I've gone through 7 rounds of wrestling with a truck. Well, hyperbole aside, I do feel kinda sore. I haven't been sleeping very well lately, and I feel tired all the time. Although this is already more or less old news to me. Thank you, insomnia. Last night was many times worse. The reason was painfully obvious to me. I really wanted to win. Shoichi had been training and looking forward to that competition for months. Even if he always tried to hide his excitement when asked, I knew better than anyone else how important it was to him. And up to the time I fell asleep, he still hadn't answered any of my messages. I don't want to see him looking like that anymore. I hear the sound of knocking, suddenly dragging my attention away from my own thoughts. When I open my eyes, I see Aki at the door. I lazily prop myself up on my elbows, looking at my brother while blinking groggily. Good morning. Wow, you were actually awake before I knocked on the door? Somewhat, in the process at least. And here I thought I'd need the bucket. You throw water at me and you die! Oh no, not water. Just the bucket. Damn. You want to throw a bucket on me. To wake you up, yeah. That way I won't damage the bed. Buckets are heavy. You'd break my nose. Don't be so melodramatic. Either way, you should get up today. Today's your school festival. As if I'd forget something that important. By the time I finally go downstairs, I'm no more awake than I was minutes ago. Even after showering, drying all my fur, brushing my teeth, etc. I still feel like just crawling back onto my bed and sleeping through summer. The season hasn't even started yet and I already hate it. Aki, is the AC on at all? I'm melting. It's only a bit warmer than the previous days. It's not that bad. No, it's definitely bad. What day did the weather report say would be the official start of summer? The 5th? Who cares? I just know that it's really hot. Aki shrugs, packing what looks to be a filled lunchbox into his bag. By the way, do you plan on coming by the festival after school? He pauses, musing the question for a few seconds with an overly dramatic look on his face that just screams, I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I don't really want to miss much practice. The festival only lasts 4 days, and you didn't go a single day last year. There's not much of interest to me going in the first place. Hey, a lot of people worked really hard to make it happen, you know. Yeah, and if any of those people were here, I'd apologize for being insensitive, but since none of them are, I'll just finish packing for school. Little brat. Aki rolls his eyes at the sight of my unhappy grumbling. I swear, he used to be so cute. By the way, Shoichi told me your class is doing a Chinese dinner. Do you plan on sticking around to help any this year? Nope. You already know how I roll. I like to enjoy... Yeah, you like to be lazy. I know. What? That's just plain rude. Try to check up on Shoichi if you can, okay? I don't need you to tell me that. That's already in my list of priorities. I didn't even know you had one of those. Or is priority number 1 to make a list of priorities? You're really asking to be slapped at this point. Aki cheekily shows me his tongue, closing his school bag and propping it behind his back. I'm gonna get going now. You should try not to be late either. Tell Shoichi I said hi and have fun. The sound of the door closing echoes down the hall. Ah, Yuichi, good morning. I hear a familiar voice calling out to me from the stairs. When I turn to look, I see my mom dressed in her usual work attire, fiddling with her bag by the stairs. That's new. You're usually long gone by the time I wake up. My hours got changed a little. We got a few new hires in the office, so I don't need to be pulling overtime every day. Knowing you, you're probably super bitter about it. Mom puckers her lips with a her brow furrowing deeply. So what if I like my work? It's much better than staying at home and being bored. Thanks, Mom. I love you too. You know that's not what I meant. My God, where did I put my keys? You mean the ones right here on top of the kitchen island? I grab at a pair of keys I noticed as soon as I walked downstairs, spinning them around on my thumb for effect. Oh, that's right. I left them there after I had dinner. I forgot. What did you think of it, by the way? It wasn't much, but I tried to change the spice mix I usually use a little. It tasted a little milder than usual. But as always, it was delicious. Thanks. Will you drop by the school festival for a bit this week? You do have free time, apparently. I'll try, but I might just end up working on some stuff once I get home. Seriously, you're too much of a workaholic. It's okay to relax every now and again, you know. By the way, have you wished your father a good day yet? As soon as she says those words, I freeze. Mom. She slowly shakes her head sideways, sighing. You kids never pay him any attention. He's going to get really lonely, you know. She walks up to a small wooden shrine we have in the corner of the living room. Aki and I keep the door to it closed all the time because we just don't like looking at it. Because of it, hardly anyone who comes here ever notices. Half the time, even I forget that it's there. Mom delicately opens the doors, revealing a few small pottery ornaments, an incense burner, and, right at the center of the whole thing, a single framed picture of my dad. Because Dad was never much one for pictures, the only good picture Mom could find of him was back when he was in high school too. It just creeps me out to see him looking so young. You know, your father probably misses your boys so very much. It wouldn't kill you to pay your respects every now and again. Reaching inside her handbag, she grabs a lighter and uses it to light a stick of incense, placing it inside the burner. She kneels in front of the shrine, putting both of her hands together in prayer. I watch the whole thing from the corner of my eye, my throat suddenly feeling like it has something stuck in it. No matter how much I try, I just can't bring myself to watch it. To me, it just feels wrong. Like clinging to a past that won't ever come back instead of moving forward. I'm sure it must be even weirder for Aki. He never even got to meet the man after all. Have a good day, Ken. Still, as far as I know, she follows the same routine every day. Before leaving the house and before going to bed, day by day, always doing the same. My mind refuses to accept such a routine. I feel like if I were to start doing something like that, I'd just remain stuck in place. Mom gets up, fixing the hem of her skirt and walking to the door. I'll try to be home when you boys get back. If I can't, I'll make dinner too. I can't have you doing everything around the house all the time. It's alright, you don't have to worry about that. You work really hard after all. She smiles, walking up to me and cupping my cheek with her left hand. You're really sweet, Shoichi, but I'm your mother. I'm the one who's supposed to be taking care of you, not the other way around. Sheesh, you don't have to fuss over every little thing. I love you too. Have a good day with the festival, okay? Oh, and if you see Shoichi-kun and Hitoka-chan, tell them I said hi. Will do. I walk up to the shrine Mom was praying to, making sure to put out the incense so it doesn't burn anything. You're not really here, are you, old man? As is to be expected, the picture cannot respond. Sighing, I close the door again, shutting it back inside. Just getting near the school gates, I can already hear a lot of activity in the area. Oof. Lots of students arrived early in the morning to finish setting things up so all would be ready before the official start time, which of course just makes it so they create an unofficial start time. I wasn't all that interested in waking up early, so I decided to come a bit later in the morning. By getting there later in the day, there is more movement going around and more events have been prepared. Lots of different booths have been set up across the school grounds. Some of them are just games, others try to show part of our school curriculum in a way that might attract attention. Science experiments, diagrams, there are all kinds of setups fighting for attention. But the most popular end up being the foods. The smell of all kinds of foods wafts around the campus grounds and tons of people gravitate around those stands. I have to admit, part of me is really interested in going around sampling the foods right away, but I know I should probably hold on for a while. But I know the first day is the best time to go sampling around the different displays, trying to see everything they have to offer. The reason for that is quite simple. In our school, the first day of the cultural festival is always closed for students and staff only. That gives students the chance to do a little test run before opening to the public, as well as just giving people some time to prepare for the larger influx that will soon follow. It's also the only reason why people who would usually be very busy can find themselves free. Like, hey you, good morning. Hey there, looks like I'm not the only one sauntering around the school grounds early in the morning. Sauntering? Did you fall asleep on top of a dictionary or something? Are you going to get on my case just because I have an unusual word? I'm considering it. Did you run into anyone else yet? Last I checked, Urushihara was trying to organize his class's haunted house. I ran into Saya-chan a bit earlier, but we just greeted each other in passing. She seems a bit busy. Oh no, do you think our plans to walk around the festival together as a group won't pan out? I think it's a bit too early to tell. It's not even 9 AM yet. Fair enough, I guess. Is something the matter? Oh, no, everything's fine. You sure? You don't seem fine. I eye Shoichi up and down, trying to get a feel for how he's feeling right now. Even though I expected him to be super down, he's acting incredibly normal. He's so casual right now that it's actually scaring me a little. Shoichi, are you okay? Huh? Why wouldn't I be? I mean, there was a competition yesterday and all. Yeah, there was. What about it? His neutral, composed reaction is such a far cry from what I saw yesterday that I choke for a second trying to come up with a response. You're acting so nonchalant about it. I guess. Okay, Shoichi, I know you might think acting like nothing's wrong will keep me from worrying, but it's just making me worry even more. Don't be like that. I'm fine. I've had some time to process. Really? Because your voice doesn't make it sound like you're fine. One thing I've learned about Shoichi over the years is that whenever he's very upset, his voice tends to get really quiet and soft. It doesn't happen very often. To date, I can count how many times I've seen it on my fingers. The last one I remember was when the news of his parents divorcing first came out. Even though he was all smiles and acting like nothing was wrong, he was still very quiet and meek. You might have become very good at shouldering your burdens over the years, but even you can't act totally fine when something this huge happens. Come on, you, it's not a big deal. Look, I'll give you a pass because we're out in the open, but once the two of us are alone, I want to talk about this. There's nothing to talk. We'll talk, and that's that. Man, you can be really pushy sometimes. Only because I care. I guess. Anyway, I should probably get going. There's still some things I need to do before I can really consider myself free. He does. Alright, I'll see you later, Shoichi. You bet. Even inside the school hallways, the whole place is packed with students running down the halls in a rush. It's kind of funny. I'm almost 100% sure none of these people would be in such a rush if they were trying to get something like a class, trying to get to something like a class they're late for. Priorities, I guess. As I'm going up the stairs to my floor, I see Keikun about to head downstairs. Ah, Yuichi-san. Good morning. Good morning. He promptly greets me with a smile, stopping right in front of the staircase. I finished climbing the last few steps so I can be level with him. Are you just arriving? I thought you would have gotten here earlier so you could spend as much time checking out the festival as possible. And miss the chance to sleep in? No way. Fair enough. My class is kind of rushing, trying to get everything set up properly. We found out that there's still too much light creeping in through the windows, so they're trying to tape them off. Isn't that going to be a huge hassle to remove later? Probably. I'm not trying to think about it. The whole thing is already a chore to work on as is. My condolences. By the way, are you still going to have free time later today for all of us to get together? For sure. I told them I'd be ducking out today already. I already have people to cover for me. The whole class is already much more excited about the concept of our venue than I am, so there's no lack of volunteers. People actually want to be working during the festival? That's kind of sad. I'm pretty sure the opposite of person that refuses to work and just gives more work to others is much, much sadder. Not at all subtle there. I wasn't trying to be. Any idea when I can swing by your class's display? We'll probably be up and running in about an hour or so. Although, honestly, I don't see the appeal in doing a haunted house thing in the middle of the morning. I'm pretty sure it'd still be fun. You and I have very different ideas of fun. What's that? Could it be it scares you too much? Well, really? I wasn't expecting that. Shut up. I'm not one for cheap thrills, okay? That's a very refined way to say you're chicken. Ugh, you can be so annoying sometimes. Aw, thanks. That wasn't a compliment. Either way, I need to get going right now. Can't afford to start slacking right now. Alright, good luck. Thanks. I'll see you later. Keikun passes by me and walks down the stairs. I turn to watch him go, lingering in my spot for a second before continuing to make my way up. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Na 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 na. Shoichi is not fine. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.